Right, the next section of this comprehensive review between the two top blenders on the market at the moment is to actually now just run a cleaning cycle in both of these. In the previous video we did nut butters. I've simply just scraped out the nut butter, again using the Quantum's spatula. So I've scraped out the nut butter and the attempted nut butter in the Vitamix, and left the nut butter's residue in the containers. Because a real test for a cleaning cycle, any cleaning cycle, is to actually see how well the machine cleans itself with just running a cycle with detergent and water. And nut butter is, of course, incredibly difficult to clean off. Now, I'm not expecting either of these machines to get these jugs spotlessly clean. Excuse me. This is nut butter, it's very sticky. There will be an element of having to go and wipe away residue afterwards. So I'm not expecting either of these machines to actually fully clean these, but we're going to be interested to see how well a cleaning cycle cleans after doing nut butter and how much extra cleaning at the sink you're going to have to do. So the Vitamix has a cleaning cycle pre-programmed. Spoke about that in another section of these videos, another part if you're watching this as a snippet. The Quantum doesn't have a preset cleaning function because JR believe you don't need a preset. I mean, there's 5 presets on the Vitamix, but one of them is a cleaning cycle. So there's 5 presets on the Quantum. They're all blending presets for your food. You don't need a preset function in JR's opinion because you just put it on full speed and use the manual speed. You don't need a cleaning cycle for that. So, but we'll use the cleaning cycle for the sake of this test on the Vitamix, and we'll do it on the Quantum as well. We'll do it at the same time just to get them up and running, and we'll run it for the length. I'll stop the Quantum at the same time as the Vitamix. So off we go. Okay. Right, so that's both of them done. It's a couple of, that's a bit residue, wasn't it? I thought it was leakage, but it's just a couple of bubbles that just come up, crept out the top. So we lift these lids off. And this is a much smaller capacity jug, so there'll be a lot more pressure build up inside of this compared to the Vitamix. So that was, I stopped these at the start. What I did is did the test based on the Vitamix's cleaning cycle and just ran it at the same length of time to try and make it as fair a test as possible. Now what you've got in here is the Vitamix itself. This is the lid. It was caked full of nut residue. It's got rid of most of it, I've got to say, outside the lid. You're going to have to scrape some nuts out of that lid. And in and around. What I'll do is I'll pour these off. This is obviously a lid that I put on after, so at least you don't have to worry about cleaning a lid, because I put the lid on the cyclone jar after doing the nut butters. The twisting lid would need a little wipe down. It's not as fiddly as the big lid there. But obviously that's spotlessly clean because that was clean when I put it on. So what I'll do is I'll just pause it, I'll pour out the residue, give it a rinse and see how much residue nut butter. Okay, so all I did was take both jugs over to the sink in the test kitchen. They were full of soap and water. So all I did literally was just rinse under the tap, turn the tap on, the water, swished it around and rinsed and poured out the soap suds so we could see the cleaning of the actual machine itself, to see how much nut butter residue was left in the machine. Now, as I say, this is a tough task for any blender to clean itself, so I'm not expecting either machine. I'll let it eat both machines off for leaving some residue in here, but we'll just have a comparison as to how clean they are. So, if we look straight down, first thing you see, the blades in the Vitamix are spotless. Absolutely not a residue of nut on there whatsoever. And the Quantum in the cyclone jar, exactly the same. Both machines have got the blades spotlessly clean of nut residue. And obviously it's the blades that are the fiddly bit, the difficult part to cleaning any blender, having to reach down and try and clean around them. So the fact that both of these blenders have got both, the blades spotlessly clean is a tick for both. That's excellent on both machines' part. You see the Vitamix there inside the jug, around the top. Let me get a better view. Around the top there, in there. I mean, at the end of the day, the water's got to try and travel up to the top here. I'm not really bothered about the top having a bit of residue on there. Look, that is that is pretty damn clean, and I'm going to give that a full marks there for the Vitamix for cleaning that nut butter off. That is, you know, you're going to have to wipe a little bit there, but not a problem at all. And again, the Cyclone, similar situation. Cyclone jars, a bit of residue around the top, a little bit down in the sides there. Nothing that can't just be wiped away. Blade spotlessly clean. So realistically, for the cleaning side of things, that is a tick for both. That's superb on both counts. So other than the fact the lid there has some residue in the nuts for the Vitamix. But no, fantastic on both parts. Both cleaning cycles and both of the ways these machines clean themselves has worked. It's cleaned absolutely spotlessly, with exception to a couple of bits of residue. But if you were doing smoothies and soups and so on, then jugs are going to be spotless. You're not going to have to do anything other than rinse that away. So very good marks for both there. That's pretty much a draw on the cleaning side of things.